Welcome back to Breakfast at Fiji One, and we welcome all our viewers who have just joined us this morning. And to those of you who are planning to do some cleaning up today, I believe the sun is out, and it's a good day to do all those cleanups this morning. And also in the recent days, we have seen firsthand how our climate has changed over the years. Today, we will look into the importance of wetlands, nature-based solutions in our fight against climate change. And in that regard, joining me in studio this morning is Mr. Etika Rupeni, who is here to inform us more on that and the whys and hows of nature-based approach towards climate change. Yandravinaka, Mr. Rupeni, and welcome to Breakfast at Fiji One. Thank you. We'll start with our conversation, and we'll ask Mr. Rupeni to tell us about himself and the work that you do. Thank you.
And Vinaka, maybe first of all, just our prayers and thoughts to those that are being affected by the flood and TC. But my name is Etika Rupeni. I work for International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN. IUCN is a union. Fiji government is a member. We have 1,300 members in 160 countries, including non-government organizations, governments, and also with that we have 15. The union is set up mainly so that we can advise governments, or we can talk to some of these global issues like climate change, the species that are being extinction. IUCN is the authority on red list of ecosystem, meaning that we are the watchdogs for the state of nature.
State of nature, yes. So, you know, what does wetlands mean?
Now, wetlands is, well, the very easy term is any areas that in our environment that water exists, but wetlands in terms of its definition includes rivers, mangrove areas, peatlands, some of the areas like Navua where it's always wet. The other thing some of us don't realize that wetlands also include coral reefs. It takes us out all the way to the coral reefs because of the importance of the connection between the river systems and the coral reefs.
So, talking about mangroves, talking about corals and wetlands and all that it involves, why is it important to all of us?
Now, wetlands, I think all of us here in Fiji know very well the importance of wetlands. It feeds us, it stores our freshwater systems, it keeps us, also the whole economic contribution of wetland system, and it keeps us safe and also a home to nature. Now let me just mention that it keeps us safe. As we face the flood challenges here in Fiji, we can just go back a couple and look at some of these wetland systems that we have altered, which does affect the water flow system. We're saying nature is supposed to be protectors, but during these extreme climate events, it's starting to be much more than the impact is increasing, because a lot of the water system or our wetland system have been altered due to some of our big developments, and just the whole moving, the population have moved, and we all love to live around wetland areas.
So every year on the 2nd of February, we celebrate World Wetlands Day. Tell us more about the day and what do we...
Yes. So the reason we celebrate World Wetlands Day every year, 2nd of February, is because that's when the global community started the Convention of Wetlands globally. It's called Ramsar Convention. It's named after a city in Iran where the global community signed the convention in 1971, but it's actually a commitment to one another, the global community, and we're glad that Fiji is a signatory to the Ramsar Convention. India has made some commitments, and Fiji have acceded to of our two important Ramsar sites. That is the Great Sea Reef, or the Kaulebu in Maswata, and for those of you that have enjoyed the whitewater rafting in Navua, that is also one of our Ramsar sites in Fiji.
So the theme for this year, for the celebrations, wetlands and water,
Yeah.
it shines a spotlight on wetlands as a source of fresh water. And wetlands, as we all know, as you had mentioned, it provides, for our safety and provides for food for us. The theme for this year, can you elaborate on that?
Now, the global community have come together, and the theme is always agreed by the Secretariat, but really is because water is in crisis globally. It means that the rate that we are using the fresh water is the nature almost can't handle the pressure that the global that humans are placing on especially our fresh water. You're looking at 82% of the world population exposed to very high pollution. So the reason they're picking up the theme of wetlands and water is because of that. The rate of our polluting the water system is too high. A lot of around 2 billion people don't have safe drinking water systems. So it's just a call globally that it's time to wake up to the reality of the crisis of water. Here in Fiji, we all are experiencing droughts, and a lot of our water systems, it's being altered in terms of the types of development, like logging and our farming. We're starting to cut down trees where our precious water system. There are two types of water systems in terms of the theme is the surface water and the aquifer water, and these are the two main sources of freshwater system. That the theme is basically calling that it's time that global communities come together. Us in Fiji should start thinking about the protection of fresh water, and all the way down to our local communities. The importance for us to realize that our freshwater system, if we don't do anything about it, it's going to be a really, really big problem for us, just getting fresh water.
Getting fresh water, and as we had just seen in TC Asa and TC Ana, the importance of maintaining the vegetation, importance of the logging that's taking place, the wash off during flooding, during natural disasters is very severe, as we have seen in the last two tropical cyclones that have passed us. And also, Mr. Rupeni, just to wrap up our conversation this morning, just your last comments to the general public and to our viewers who are watching this morning, again on the importance, and just reminding them on the importance of taking care of our wetlands and the environment that they live in.
Yeah, maybe first of all, just to really congratulate the Fiji communities. We are seeing a lot of youths that are starting to replant mangroves. We've just done some assessment of the status of how we are progressing. We are progressing well. It's really great to see our communities that are doing your bit in restoring wetland areas, the mangrove areas. There's a high awareness of people wanting to plant mangroves, especially in Suva. We are always seeing the role of business communities. The government have put forward some bold commitments of protecting our wetlands. They have the National Biodiversity Action Strategy, where Fiji now have identified around 42 very important biodiversity areas. So just a message that it's time to just quickly reevaluate again how we're managing our wetlands, that all of us are responsible for it, our communities, the government, and in all of our areas. Also the use of wetlands. We tend to see water as it will always be there, and we are really not managing the use of water. So it's just a call again that it's time we sit together, maybe as families, communities, and see our contribution to ensure the water security for us now and for our future generation.
So we have to have a collaborative approach, and everyone has to work together, the families, the communities, NGOs and non-governmental organizations, and also the government, to protect everyone. Thank you so much, Mr. Rupeni. Thank you for your time, and all the best for the celebrations that you have, and for the importance of the day that we are celebrating. Thank you. Stay with us. We have more stories coming up after the break.
Okay.